Hi there, you're with Simon at English Coach, and I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about working at home. Now, as you can see, this office here is actually my home office. Surprised? Well, you shouldn't be. This is not somewhere that I rent, so I don't pay rent for this place. This is part of my house. So it's something that I save money on as I work for myself. I could potentially be renting some place in the city and having another very high overhead in my costs, but I don't because I decided to put all of my energy and discipline into creating my home office. Now, one of the first things that you need to do if you really want to have a successful home office, or if you want to work at home successfully, is make your environment comfortable. Okay, so the first thing that I invested in was a very comfortable chair, and this chair can move around. As you can see, I'm moving it around a little bit. It also has wonderful back support. It's very soft and it moves around with my body. If I need to move, it moves with me, which is great. And it really means that I can feel comfortable for a longer period of time at work. So this is the first point, okay? Also, I make it comfortable by buying little things like this. This is my head cushion. It looks a little informal. It looks a little silly. But what that does is it actually allows me to be more comfortable at work. And being comfortable at work is important until the level that it goes from formal to informal. If you're making your comfort more important than the register of the environment, which is formal, then you're doing the wrong thing, because the place that you work needs to remain formal. It needs to be a place that you're going to take seriously every day, because sometimes you want to bring in parts of your life into your business or into your work office, to your home work office. Please never do that. That's a bad idea, okay? The second thing, clothes matter. Okay, you can see I'm wearing this white shirt. It doesn't look extremely formal, but it does let me know and let other people know that I'm here in my office doing work, doing serious work. And so every morning before I come into my office, I put on one of these shirts, whether it's blue, green, you would have seen them in my other videos. They are the same clothes that I wear during my working hours with my clients. And these clothes remind me that this is a formal situation, that this is my working situation, that I need to take it very seriously. And therefore, I am more engaged. Okay, so clothes do actually matter, and whether they directly motivate you, which in a lot of cases they do for some people, they often indirectly motivate you, and you don't notice in just 1 or 2 days, but you notice over a month or 2 months that it makes a huge difference. Okay, my third point here is about not drinking and eating in your personal home office space. This space is not a space you want to bring snacks in. Unless you're working extremely long hours, and I'm talking more than 12 hours without a break, you need to abstain from eating any kinds of food in this environment. This environment is to be food and drink free. Why is that? Again, it's got something to do with the formality. It's about primarily the purpose of the space. This is not a space for you to sit down and eat things. This is a space for you to sit down and get engaged in what you're doing. Okay? Now, the fourth point is keeping it spotless. Now, this also connects to the food and drink thing. You're not supposed to eat or drink in your home office space. Why? Also because of this other point, to keep it spotless. Cleanliness is everything. If my if my space is not 100% clean, it's going to make me feel a certain way about it. If you have eyes in your head and you can see that the place that you've allocated for your work is messy, then it is going to impact your work. It may impact your work just slightly, but maybe that's something that you don't need, or it can impact your work really intensely by distracting you often, distracting you with, I don't know, insects or smells or things that you want to fix, but then you don't really have the time to fix that problem, but it's irritating you, it's distracting you, and then again, formality drops. It becomes this informal place where you've decided to work, but it's not necessarily given that respect. You're not respecting your space. Okay? So that's really important. The next point, which I guess is the fifth point here, is this is not a place for any kind of happy hour or artisanal beer or witty poster time. As you can see on my back wall, I have a kind of a poster with a lion there, but that's not supposed to be witty or a joke or something. That is all about symbolism and the fact that for me to start my whole personal business, my whole the business that I created by myself, called English Coach, which helps people in Brazil learn English and also coaches them at the same time. It was something that I needed a lot of courage for. I spent years, maybe almost 2 years, thinking about this idea and just completely terrified and horrified of it. So I need this to remind me of the courage that it took to create my own business, to open my own business, to be contracting myself, instead of being an employee, which to me takes a lot of courage and a lot of balls. So it's not about artisanal beer, and it's not about poster time or these things that the new generation likes to do in co-working areas. It's not about that. If you're working by yourself, you need to have discipline, and you're not going to be doing any group meets unless your neighbor's home office is connected to yours, or you're having visitors that are work related. It's not time for this kind of thing. It needs to be directed as much to your work as possible. And as soon as you get carried away with little distractions that look cool, talk about beer and other things that are not work related, it's not time for that kind of thing, then it's not coherent with the space. Okay? So I'm telling you, think about it. Is it a good idea? Maybe it's not. Okay? Now the last point here is to respect your time. So what time do I get in the office? My first clients start at 7. I need to be in my office preparing at about 20 minutes to 7. So I'll spend 20 minutes preparing, not just for them, but preparing for other clients, and also organizing my space, making sure I have all the materials, looking at our last conversations. And this is something that I need to respect. So it's basically in concrete. I can't change that. Saying, oh, of course you can change it. You work at home, you're free to do it. If you're working at home, discipline is even more important than at work. And you ask yourself, so then why don't I just go to work? Why don't I just go to work for someone else? Or why don't I rent an office somewhere? Well, you can go and do that. You can go and rent your office, or you can be an employee and someone else can motivate you to do the work and be punctual and everything like that. But let me tell you, the benefits of working at home are really huge, and I think people don't really fathom or understand how many benefits there are. If you're a person who can use the internet to do courses, and if you're a person who loves to cook for themselves and wants to control their diet so that they're eating a healthy diet. You have all of these opportunities here at home. And usually if you're not in the traffic and wasting time trying to cross a city in your car because you're working at home, then you have that extra time to prepare yourself, to prepare the best food for yourself, to look after yourself. And it is also a test of discipline. So over the years, you don't fall down, your habits don't fall, but they increase. Your habits are getting more and more evolved, more and more developed, and that you're able to control your environment to get the best results. Remember, cleanliness speaks quality to what you're doing. Okay? Formality speaks quality to what you're doing. This is really how you want to operate your home office. I hope you take this opportunity to start your own home office if you're working for yourself. Stop renting out some crazy place, some crazy co-working with hundreds of people that distract you and that take your mind off the job. If your job is not related to creating networks with them, that's crazy. If your job is not to sell artisanal beer, don't drink at work. And separate the environment, separate your home environment from your office environment, and you will be able to have the best home office experience ever and get the best results for your company or your employer's company. Thanks a lot for watching today, and I'll see you on my next videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers. Bye.